What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering, and a pretty interesting thread, if true, about some internal influence going on at Facebook. Now, I know a lot of people are getting burnt out on the Twitter files. I understand. Also, Christmas is coming up in a few days, so people's, minds are elsewhere. I understand. I'm still going to do what I got to do, and hopefully you're enjoying the work. Now, one thing that was brought to light through the Twitter files is essentially that if the number of ex three-letter agency people that work there, it was an enormous amount. Ex FBI, ex CIA, all this kind of stuff. It was like you had Jim Baker there who was working on all this stuff. What if I told you? So let's say it was like 10 employees or something like that at Facebook, right? What if or at Twitter? What if I told you someone had done a search on Facebook employees and that there was 115 former three-letter agency staff at Facebook? We know how the ex-FBI agents influenced what was going on at Twitter because they were never really ex-FBI. They were just FBI. Now, this is a thread from someone who's just, it seems like just, regular. Oh, no, they got 12,000 followers. Okay. Looks like they use the power of maybe autism or something. I say that in a good way. After learning that Twitter employs at least 15 former FBI agents, I searched Facebook. What I found is alarming. Facebook currently employs at least 115 people in high-ranking positions that formerly worked at the FBI, CIA, NSA, or DHS. 17 CIA, 37 FBI, 23 NSA, 38 DHS. It seems like these people, you would think maybe they leave they go to the private sector to get paid out. I don't exactly know. All but a few of former intelligence agencies were hired by Facebook after the 2016 presidential election, and after the FBI established their social media focused task force. So I wonder how many of these worked for the FBI, and they were like, "Oh yeah, you gotta go apply for the job. You gotta go. We gotta place you inside Facebook, give you a big fat salary, make sure that the American people never know the truth." I don't know that for a fact, but I do know that we know that there were some very suspicious activities going on with former FBI employees at Twitter. Why would it be any different at Facebook? 3, as Matt Taibbi detailed in the Twitter Files Part 6, we know there was a massive coordination of censorship between the FBI and Twitter during 2022 and 2020. Who is controlling the, quote, misinformation censorship at Facebook? Is there similar coordination between Facebook and the intelligence community? By the way, you get a follow for that. I did that. Okay. The following is a list obtained through publicly available LinkedIn profiles of former CIA, FBI, NSA, DHS that are currently working at Facebook. At least 10 work in trust and safety, parentheses, misinformation. Many of the LinkedIn profiles are private, so those will not be posted. What's interesting is, you might understand why a skill in, misinformation, for example, you might hone that skill at a place like the CIA or FBI. But it's pretty interesting just how many of these people, Eric Berman, him, leads the misinformation policy team at Facebook. According to Aaron's public LinkedIn profile, he worked for the CIA for 17 years. Aaron states that his experience at the CIA, including writing the president's daily brief, leading briefings for cabinet members, senior NSC officials, and members of Congress. On Twitter, Aaron is followed by, you guessed it, Yoel Roth, and admits he is friends with trust and safety people at Twitter. Was Facebook coordinating with Twitter on info sharing to censor posts they deem misinformation? Well, I think that's a fair question to ask. Aaron admits to specific Facebook campaigns where he tackles, quote, misinformation. Here's Aaron Berman. Check out Facebook's response to the Oversight Board recommendations on COOF misinformation. We are increasing transparency as recommended. Boy, the government just put their little tentacles in everything, didn't they? On a YouTube discussion with Stanford, Aaron admits that Facebook works with a, quote, global network of over 80 fact-checker organizations who direct Facebook on which posts to reduce distribution, add warning labels to, and shadow ban. Well, yeah, I wonder how many of these groups are funded by the U.S. government. Aaron discusses in detail at length the lengths Facebook goes to into censoring what they deem as misinformation. Here's the entire YouTube video. In reply to the Brazil election, here's Aaron Berman again. Here's how we're preparing for the Brazil election. Another example to the extent Meta goes to reduce misinformation. Philippines election, we talked about. Russia, Ukraine. Aaron retweeted that the CIA backs insurgency groups. To be fair, backing this, if it happens, would be pretty different than trying to defeat an insurgency. We've got a more successful history there. I mean, you see, you have all sorts of stuff going on here. I mean, if this list is true, how many more people work there? Now, this is just one particular person that's listed. I don't know if he put out more names than just that, but it's actually insane. You see what's happening today, the Twitter space is a deliberate sabotage. Yeah, I mean, if we go back to December 19th, Jim Jordan writes, at least 80 FBI agents collaborated with Twitter to help monitor the social media site. How many more were working with big tech companies? I mean, certainly a lot of them from the looks of it, right? Aaron Berman runs Facebook's misinformation department. Aaron Berman spent 17 years working for the CIA. Berman admits to removing user content even if it doesn't violate Facebook policy. Isn't that interesting? I mean, it's insane to me. You have 115. One thing that Trump talked about in his his comeback policy or whatever, his letter, was like instituting a chill out period for former intelligence agencies to go work in the private sector, in particular social media companies. And I don't know. I think that would have to be refined because, you'd probably never have anybody work in the government or choose to work in these fields if they couldn't go cash in other places. But like when they're doing this to then infringe on Americans' First Amendment rights, that's pretty spicy. Oh, here we go. Okay, so there's more. Deborah B., she, her, current Facebook Trust and Safety, former CIA, 15 years. Scott S., current Facebook Senior Manager, Trust and Safety, former CIA, 7 years. Brian Weisbrand, current Facebook Trust and Safety, formerly 9 years at multiple senior level leadership positions in the U.S. government intelligence community, former Twitter online safety and security analysis, 4 years, former YouTube Trust and Safety. Why do you think they keep moving them around? Hagen Barnett, current Facebook Trust and Safety Officer, lead former self-employed contractor with the CIA. Jeff Lazarus, current Facebook Trust and Safety, former Apple Trust and Safety, former Google Trust and Safety, former CIA. 5 years. How many? I mean, right under our noses, right? Working hand in glove with these people. John Rosa, current Facebook Trust and Safety, former U.S. Army Intelligence Security Command, 4 years. Jason Berry, current Facebook Trust and Safety, former Department of Homeland Security, 7 years. Rick Cavallerios, former Facebook Trust and Safety, former FBI, 21 years. Sandeep A., current Senior Investigator, Trust and Safety, former NSA, 4 years. I mean, I can't, I don't even want to go through all these. I can't. It would take forever. But Facebook may be even worse. Maybe even far worse than Twitter ever was. But we'll never know, I suppose, unless Zuckerberg has something to say. I mean, geez. I mean, all these former intelligence agencies. Matthew Loop writes, Facebook is at worst a propaganda machine that censors anything against a mainstream narrative. Yeah. All these ex-feds seem to work at social media and trust and safety. I'm sure that's not a coincidence. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a like on it. If you hope other people see this too, please consider sharing it, and we'll talk to you again real soon.